The crowd was silent, cameras focused, judges leaned forward, and then, just one trembling note broke the air. A soft, shaky voice that carried the weight of hunger, pain, and dreams far too big for his small world. In that moment, no one could believe that the boy standing barefoot on that grand stage came from a forgotten village where music was a luxury and dreams were a sin. His name was Ayaan, a 15-year-old boy from a dusty little village miles away from the city lights. He wasn't dressed for the stage, his shirt was slightly torn, his slippers worn out. But when he stepped into the spotlight, something about his eyes made everyone quiet. They weren't the eyes of a contestant. They were the eyes of someone who had already lived 1,000 lifetimes of struggle. Chapter 1. The Voice of the Fields. Ayaan grew up among the golden fields of wheat and the cracked mud huts of his village. His father was a farmer who worked from sunrise to sunset but still came home with little more than tired hands and a worried heart. His mother used to hum lullabies at night when the kerosene lamp flickered out, soft songs that carried Ayaan into dreams of stages, lights, and applause. But when Ayaan turned 9, his mother fell ill. The nearest hospital was 2 hours away, and the family couldn't afford proper treatment. He sat beside her, singing the same songs she once sang to him, hoping somehow his voice could heal what medicine couldn't. She passed away one cold morning, whispering, "Never stop singing, my son. Your voice will take you far." Those words stayed with him like a flame in the dark. Chapter 2. The Struggle Begins. School was a dream Ayaan couldn't afford. Every morning, he helped his father in the fields and spent the evenings at the small village market, singing for coins. Most days, people walked by without listening. Some would stop, smile, and drop a few rupees. And when he'd earn enough to buy rice or a bit of sugar, his heart would fill with pride. But not everyone understood his passion. "Singing won't feed you," the villagers said. "Be like your father. Work, not dream." Ayaan listened, but deep down, he knew he was meant for something more. Sometimes he'd sneak away to the nearby river, singing to the wind and echoing birds. His voice would bounce off the water and hills, and in those moments, he felt free, like the whole world was his audience. Chapter 3. The Chance of a Lifetime. One day, a small local event came to the nearby town. It was an audition for a famous reality singing show, The Voice of Dreams. Posters were everywhere. The entry fee was small but still more than Ayaan could afford. He worked double shifts at the fields, sang at every market, and finally collected enough coins in a small tin box. His father hesitated. "Ayaan, these city people, they don't care about us. What if they laugh at you?" But Ayaan smiled softly. "Ami said my voice will take me far. I want to try, Abu." The next morning, barefoot and nervous, he boarded a crowded bus with nothing but a small bag and his mother's scarf. Chapter 4. The Stage of Dreams. When Ayaan reached the audition venue, he froze. The hall was enormous, filled with lights, cameras, and hundreds of contestants wearing shiny clothes. He looked at his faded shirt and felt small. "What am I doing here?" he whispered. When his turn came, he stood on the stage, shaking. The judges asked, "What will you sing for us?" He looked up and said, "A song for my mother." The music began. His voice trembled at first, then grew strong, filled with raw emotion. Every note carried pain, love, and hope. The audience went silent. Even the judges, known for their strictness, were frozen in awe. When he reached the last line, his voice cracked, but that single crack was more powerful than perfection. Tears filled the judges' eyes. And then, the golden buzzer. The confetti fell like golden rain. The crowd stood on their feet, clapping, cheering, crying. Ayaan dropped to his knees, holding his mother's scarf, whispering, "Ami, I did it." Chapter 5. Rising from the Dust. After that moment, Ayaan's life changed. News channels ran his story, "Village Boy Wins Golden Buzzer." His video went viral across the country. People called him the voice of the fields. But fame didn't change him. He sent his first paycheck home to his father, asking him to rebuild their small hut and buy new clothes. He continued the competition with humility and heart. Even when he didn't win the final title, he had already won something bigger, the hearts of millions. One evening, after the show, A judge told him, "You reminded us what real music is. It's not about perfection, it's about soul." Ayaan smiled. "That's what my mother used to say." Chapter 6. The Message That Lasts Forever. Years later, Ayaan returned to his village, not as the poor boy who once sang in markets, but as an artist who had touched the world. He built a small music school there, free for children who dreamed like he once did. Standing before the class, he said, "You don't need fancy clothes or big cities to dream. You just need a heart that refuses to give up." And then, with the same voice that once echoed across the fields, he began to sing again, this time surrounded by smiling faces, clapping hands, and the sound of a dream fulfilled. Moral: no dream is too small, and no background too poor when your heart sings with courage. Ayaan's voice was not just music, it was hope, proof that talent can rise from dust and shine brighter than gold.